I don't want this to be like a, hey, this is how you do it. This is more of a how we did it. So random, just crazy desert rainstorm, probably dropped 2 inches. But we're ready to get this done. We're ready to be done with it. In case you're new here, I'm Kara and this is Keaten, and we travel full-time in our fifth wheel RV with our kitty Wesley and our puppy Franky. And you're watching the adventures of RV Tells and Trails. Full-time travel, crazy adventures. Hey everybody, it's your favorite RVers from RV Tells and Trails, and welcome back to another episode. Today we are talking about our DIY solar that we ended up doing. And we had a few things we wanted to make sure we touched on. So the first thing we wanted to talk about is why we decided to do solar to begin with.
Yeah. It's because we didn't want to be reliant on shore power, which is your RV parks. We wanted to be able to go off-grid and go wherever we want.
We wanted the freedom to boondock, to live off-grid, to do everything. That was the main reason we did all this. So now, why did we choose to do it ourselves? A DIY solar instead of having someone do it? Why did we decide to do that?
So the first one was cost. It was big cost savings.
Oh yes, so we were getting quotes from $17,000 to $22,000 to have someone come out and install solar, which is insane. That is way too much. We could not afford that. So that's really a main reason why we decided to DIY our solar.
The second reason was to have the experience of doing it ourselves, just in case we wanted to do it again on another rig.
Oh yeah, we know that we want to do this life for a while, for long term, so being able to do your solar can save you so much money in the long run. And also we wanted to make sure that if anything broke, we knew our system in and out, and so we could troubleshoot it. We don't have to pay technicians to come out to figure out what's going on with our solar. We could figure it out ourselves. But the thing that I found that was the most beneficial was the Explorist videos. Unparalleled. Just walked through every single step of the solar setup. Beyond incredible. I know how to do everything now because of those Explorers videos, so we did end up going with a kit with them, and just know it cost us probably about 15 grand. We ended up going with the 2500 watt system, and of course when you get it in a kit, there's going to be more expensive, right? If you outsource each item, you're going to be able to have cost savings, but we didn't have that kind of time or knowledge or anything, so we ended up going with the kit. Next thing we want to touch on is why we had to take 2 panels off.
Our rig originally came with 2 200 watt panels. We removed those because we didn't want to be, I guess, throttled or reliant on just those 2 200 watt panels. We wanted to be able to go more than that.
Yeah, as you guys know, panels have amperage and voltage that have to match up, or you will get throttled down to the lower amperage and wattage, or voltage, gosh, voltage, amperage, all of it. Anyways, you don't want to get throttled down to the lowest panels, and we could not find 8 more panels of the same ones that we had on our RV. It was just impossible. We couldn't find it. So we knew the best bet for us was just to take them off, measure, and get 10 up there that would fit correctly, and we have 10 of them for 2500 watts. Yep. The next question is, which you unfortunately are going to have to wait till the end of this video to find out. We're going to give you a big recap on everything that we did, but we're going to answer what we underestimated or wish we would have done differently, which is quite a bit. And if you're a new person doing DIY solar, please wait till the end, because I promise you, we're going to give you some good tips to know how to do it yourself. Day 1 started off with getting the solar panels off the roof, which we were able to accomplish. Next was the daunting task of getting all the solar panels up onto the roof. As you can see, we just handed them to each other on the deck. I didn't get video of that, but trust me, it was fun. One thing we definitely underestimated with the new panels was getting the legs attached. This ended up taking us a lot longer than we thought it would, and it was very difficult to do it on the roof, as you can see. I'll show a little bit more of the struggle. As you can see here, we ended up having to flip it over, but the other panels, we made the decision to just do them on the ground, which was so much easier. Alright, party people, so as you can tell, my hair is soaked. I changed my shirt, but I was drenched. We put 2 panels on, didn't we, Keith? We got 2 panels on, and then we got a random, just crazy desert rainstorm, probably dropped 2 inches. I'm a little nervous because we just caulked 2 of them, so I don't know.
What it is.
When we get up there, we'll take a look. But we've only gotten 2 of the 10 out. We got 2 off this morning, and then we got the right tools. We had to make a trip. Let's say how many trips we make in this video. So far,
1 trip to Lowe's.
1 trip to Lowe's, but I did a prep work. So this is actually the 2nd trip so far.
We know we have to make 1 more.
We know we have to make 1 more trip probably. We haven't even started the hardest part of this. This is just the manual labor part of it. Just kidding.
But got up there at 9 a.m., took the 2 panels off, caulked what we could, the holes that were up there, and then put 2 panels on in the last 20 minutes of our day, and then it started downpouring. So hopefully it doesn't wash away.
We're gonna finish it today. You're gonna see. This is just day 1 of our solar. We got it all picked out. We did it all. Day 1 solar. We got this. We, in fact, did not make it back up on day 1 to finish up putting the rest of the panels on the roof, but we did get them all laid and drilled in on day 2. Although it's hard to see, it's very important in this step that you put self-leveling caulk for your RV roof underneath when you drill in. This will make sure it's very tight and no water gets through. Now that they're drilled in, it's very important that you cover the screws again in caulk. This will make sure that no water gets through. If you think you've done enough, do even more. Is it a project if you haven't gone to Lowe's or Home Depot? You know, like, I don't think it is. You have to go at least 4 times. So this is actually our 3rd time. Basically the wood we got to mount in the front of the garage, it is too small. Like, we can't even fit the inverters in there. So what we're gonna do is, we got a new piece of board. It's gonna go in the garage this time, and we're gonna spray it because I'm crazy and I don't want there to be a fire. We got bolts. We're gonna screw it into the sheet metal. We'll see how that goes. So yeah, it's just a fun update. Are you having a great time, Keith?
Nope.
We're getting there. So I don't want this to be like a, hey, this is how you do it. This is more of a how we did it. so don't take our advice. We're doing the best we can. But I'm essentially going to run this to my links distributor. This will run to the links distributor also, and then this will run to this, and this will run to this, this will run to this, and this will run to that. So it's got a lot of crisscrossing. And then one of these will run out to go over into my OEM splice kit. And then I've got my shunt up there, so having a good time over here. We didn't quite get video, but getting this board into the rig was probably one of the most difficult parts. Each inverter itself weighed 42 pounds for a total of 84 pounds we were trying to get into the rig. I'm sure you could just put these on the wall and mount them that too. You don't have to use the board. We were trying to save our neck as much as possible because trying to put this all together while it's on the wall in the garage was a big task that we weren't ready to take on. All right, party peeps. It is Sunday. This is day 5 of whole days. Keaton's crimping back there. We're pretty close. So we've got the inverter all wired. We have it all in here. We have to slide in there sometimes to get to stuff, and it hurts our neck. So right now we're just sitting on the outside finishing up stuff. Right now I'm working on, got the heat gun going. A lot of these wires, which we used Explorist, I'm sure I've mentioned it, but I'll go into more detail about it. They give you everything you really need. And you gotta cut, strip, crimp, and heat like over and over, probably like 90 times. But it's been a lot, so it's been fun. Let me show you guys. So I'm just finishing up the shunt. I gotta get this in, this. We're working on the ground chassis. That's gonna be hooked up into that. Everything else is pretty much wired. We gotta do the battery bank. So yeah, we're cooking, we're cleaning, we're having a good time, and we're a little exhausted. If you can't tell, like, I'm giving you guys the raw. This is what happens when you do it yourself. There's been quite a few times where if you ever do this yourself, the inverters, the spring doors are the worst, are the absolute worst. I think, wouldn't you agree, the spring doors are the worst? Our fingers are very raw. The last couple nights I woke up at 4 a.m. thinking about the system. But thankfully last night I only woke up for a minute. I fell right back asleep. But we're ready to get this done. We're ready to be done with it. We're excited though. Like, we'll be able to boondock, which is really exciting stuff. So you'll also see me very often stop and watch a video to figure out exactly how to wire some of this. The Explorers videos were very helpful and gave you a step-by-step tutorial on how to do it. I am holding it up with my feet. Now that everything is wired, it was time to mount this onto the garage wall.
Feels pretty good.
She's staying.
So
Get in there, guys.
those.
We put these ones in on these big black ones, and they just shredded it totally. So good thing we had these backup black ones that I picked out that were super heavy duty, like hardcore. So we're just gonna probably use these. Still working on the servo. It's gonna connect over into that wire right there with the blue tape. It's gonna go up inside. Oh, we got some good animals right here. Got the frame. The babies, those little babies. We gotta connect that little OEM box, splice into that big black wire right there. See that wire right there. It's quite the mess. I'll show you guys the finished product later, but we're almost done. It's Sunday afternoon. I told my grandma we'd go see her, so we're like trying to scramble, get this done and go see her. You can see the finished product here, and boy were we proud of the work we did. We got everything connected. The wires weren't as pretty as they could be, and we did the final step of getting the battery hooked up. Next, Keaten finished up with hooking up the servo and getting the settings ready, and that wraps it. What a fun experience, right? I am so glad that you guys stuck around to the very end. We're finally gonna answer the question you all have been dying for. So, what we underestimated or wish we did differently?
Yeah, I'd say the first thing is the amount of time that it took. We both took a week off of work, and we worked 12 to 14-hour days, little food, we were exhausted every day. It took a lot out of us, so the amount of time.
Yes, and in the prep before that, so for probably 2 months, I was watching videos, trying to figure out how the system worked. I wanted to be able to understand it before we started doing it, so just plan on that. Going into it blindly and not knowing how it works will bite you in the butt. Make sure you understand each component and how to do each component. Thankfully, the Explorers videos broke down every step, which was really nice. And you saw in the video, I had my phone up multiple times because I didn't know how to do it. And so I watched a tutorial on how to do it. The next thing that I'll talk on is the complexity of the settings and programming. It took me probably 2 or 3 days, and we had to call Epic,
The battery
company, to figure out how to get the settings to work with my servo. That took a lot of time to figure out how that communicates properly. We still don't have it quite figured out all the way, but we're somewhat there.
The third thing is just the amount of weight that it adds to your trailer. You know, living this life full time, you're very concerned about how much weight you have on your trailer, and it adds a lot between the batteries, the solar panels, all the wiring, and all of the other components. Add a lot of weight, so you have to take that into consideration. Yeah, unpopular opinion. I think everybody's overweight in their trailers, and because there's just no possible way. We have gotten rid of so many things, and we're still overweight. Anyways, going back to it. Pre-measure. So, as you saw, we had our original board, and then we had to go get another board. And when we got that board, I didn't measure if it would fit in the front of our garage. So it was a lot of pain. Like if my one word for you is please, please, please measure ahead of time to make sure your inverters, because we ended up going with a little bit bigger inverters, and we got 2 inverters, as you saw, which took up a ton of space. There was no more room for battery or wires, so we ended up moving it from the front of the garage into the middle garage, which it's fine there now, but definitely please pre-measure. Measure twice. Measure
twice, cut once, right? You know, that was our biggest, I think, thing. Okay, and then kind of funny things also to just be aware of. If it's gonna rain, be careful. As you guys saw, we got hit with a freak summer storm. It happens when you're in the desert. So be wary of the weather report, and then just make sure you have all your holes caulked up and make sure everything's done on your roof so you don't get caught with any leaks in the future. Thankfully, and hopefully, we haven't had any yet. Hopefully we didn't. And then also the last thing, just plan on many trips to the hardware store. I think we made 5 or 6. It's gonna happen. Just have a good attitude about it. You're gonna go to the hardware store multiple times.
Make sure you're parked close to one at least.
Yes, yeah, get a park where you're close to a Home Depot or a Lowe's. Well, we hope you guys had so much fun watching this video. We had a blast doing our solar. It was intense, it was tiring, it was exhausting, but you can do it because we had no knowledge.
Zero.
We know nothing about electricity, we know nothing about those things, and we did it. So I'm confident you can do it if you find the right resources. But thank you guys for sticking around to the very end. If you enjoyed this content,
yeah, subscribe, like our videos.
hit like and subscribe because we're going to keep bringing you fresh new stuff. Thanks for sticking around.